Hello and welcome to the Troyiverse. It is May 13th, a crisp 7 degrees. Very windy today. It's Wednesday, and I am out running some errands. I grabbed something that is now very near and dear to me, and I am so happy that I have this new accessory, if you will, in my repertoire. Also went to the comic book store, grabbed some comics, talked some comic stuff, which was fun because the yesterday, the 12th, the new Punisher one-shot movie came out, which I gotta say, like, I have been a fan of John Baratheon since Walking Dead. That was the first time I seen him, first time I experienced his acting, first time I was like, he's a piece of shit character. Not actor, character. But all in all, every role I've seen him in, regardless if it is some type of, I don't know, variation of the gruff exterior of Shane from Walking Dead to how he is as Frank Castle as the Punisher within all the movies he's been in. Like, I enjoy him as an actor. Even with his interviews, I enjoy his interviews. Like, he's I can't remember if he's from like Boston or Baltimore. I can't remember, but I believe it's one of the B cities, but I'm not sure. But he's just one of those dudes that just be like, I remember one of the interviews he said he was in a scene and it was some dude running up on him, and I think he said like the dude tried to throw a punch at him or something like that, and he just cold cocked him and knocked him out. Like, I believe every time he picks up a gun in the Punisher, like, I believe he is Frank Castle. Like, and it's crazy because I never realized how much of a fan I am of Punisher media. Like, I don't collect the comic books like that. However, I do keep abreast of his, like, storylines and story plots and stuff like that. Like, for example, media, I'll say, like, I love the Dolph Lundgren one that was in like the 80s. The Thomas Jane one that was in like the mid 90s, early to mid 90s, I believe. Even the Punisher Warzone by the now transition actor that was his last role was in the Ahsoka franchise of Star Wars, and now John Baratheon. Like, I enjoy Punisher's like MO. Like, I enjoy his content. Like, the fact that he's just a soldier that always inspired to be like Captain America, and Captain America is his hero. However, because a drastic turn of events, like the mob came after him and his family and took his family out, and he just went on a rampage of being like, nobody else is going to take care of them because Spider-Man and them is worried about larceny and all this other stuff, but they let these people go to jail and get back out on the streets. Like, you know, it's more innocent families are going to be taken out because of this BS judicial system, stuff like that. But even when it came down to like all the obscure stuff, because comic books is comic books, so you know they killed him, they killed off Frank, they brought him back and had a whole Punisher Frankenstein like storyline where he was an undead like Punisher killing people. Then they brought him back to like actually being a human again, but then they crippled him and then they put him in a war machine, which was also a very great concept of the thing about, because you have Rhodey as War Machine, of course, but to have the goddamn Punisher, who is a dude who is literally a war machine, get into one of Iron Man's distinct armors that is a war machine armor. It 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 honestly should have been done sooner, and it's so funny to like have a concept of like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. That it took so long to get to. I mean, here's the thing. I come up with storylines all the time of different things for the X-Men. But like, I just seen someone do like a what if, or talk about a what if about the X-Men or whatever like that. And it was always funny because one of the concepts was something I never even thought about before, but it has the legs to run, and that was basically, what if Apocalypse actually got the original 5 X-Men to be his, his 4 horsemen, if you will. And I know people are like, wait, how can he get the original 5 X-Men and still have the 4 horsemen? And it makes sense. There was a storyline where it was called the 12, and it was supposed to be these 12 mutants that was supposed to infuse their energies and stuff like that to make Apocalypse the most invincible he ever will be. Yeah, that concept. However, there was one being that was supposed to embody that essence of power. It was supposed to be Nate Summers, Nate Gray, if you will, from the Age of Apocalypse storyline, but it was because of Nate Summers' genetic disposition of having Jean Grey, Madame Pryor DNA, and Scott Summers. So the story moved over to a point where they stopped it. They stopped the agenda, but they couldn't completely like get it away from it. Like, so somehow Scott became the embodiment of Apocalypse at one point, and he like ran off and he was trying to fight the psychic attack of Apocalypse in his head type shit. So in the what if, it would have been a thing where Cyclops would have been the new embodiment of Apocalypse, and then Jean, Warden, Hank, Bobby, they would have been his 4 horsemen, and they still would have been the original 5 X-Men, but now with this new Apocalypse agenda. And the concept of that would have been fun. Because think about it like this, because even if certain things wouldn't have been the same, there would have been some like levels of like parallels. Like Jean would still become the Phoenix, but now because she's the Dark Phoenix, and now because Apocalypse is inside Scott's mind, his his body, like now it'll be Apocalypse and the Dark Phoenix Force wreaking havoc around the cosmos. Like, it wouldn't just be survival of the fittest on Earth. It would be survival of the fittest throughout the universe. You know what I mean? And it would have been fantastic. Of course, Warden would have been still the Death, Angel of Death. They probably would have like Beast, Hank McCoy be, I don't know, probably Pestilence. Well, maybe Famine. Maybe Famine, and then Bobby would be Pestilence. Cause I mean, either way, it could kind of be either or, like, because Bobby could just take the the moisture out of everything, and because there's no moisture for things to grow, there's the famine. And then with Hank, he can create like a antibody or some type of like virus for pestilence. So it would still work. But yeah, not to go off on a tangent because the X-Men, because I could do that, and that would be the whole podcast for like an hour and 45 minutes. But like, even when it came down with Frank, like, they did a whole thing where they made him into Ghost Rider, and then they made him on Cosmic Ghost Rider, and he was Thanos' like left hand man. I can't even say right hand man, but like left hand man, who would basically just give Thanos, King Thanos, at the end of time, like the penance stare, just so Thanos could just recount all the slaughters and all the murders and all the like victories he accomplished, just so he could like still get a rise because he was just bored. Like he was bored. He had the Hulk chained up as like a pet, and he was bored. He was just like, "There's nobody else I can kill except for Silver Surfer." But Silver Surfer ran, and he couldn't chase Silver Surfer. But yeah, like it was just like, it was a great. And then they brought that version of Frank Castle back like into the main continuity of 616, which was fantastic because that Frank met up with the actual Frank of the 616, and they decided to talk. And it was actually a really great comic book. And then that was just two Frank Castles rolling around the Marvel Universe in the 616, like one in space and one on Earth. But yeah, it's a fan. The fact that Punisher is where he's at in the Marvel Universe is fantastic. Even though I don't even collect the comic books like that, it's not a thing where I'm like, oh yeah, let me get a Punisher comic book. But if it's any type of media, like any type of movie, or like even if it's like a cartoon show, because he was in this the '90s Spider-Man show. I don't even know why they gave him I was gonna say Rambo and Ryu bandana, like, I don't, but for some reason it worked, I guess. But yeah, it was just it's a great concept for a character because it's real, it's super real. It's just a man plagued by the trauma of the loss of his family, who is in a psychosomatic journey to end the corruption of the mob, because the mob has their hands in everything in every pocket. So how can you trust the system when the system is rigged? So yeah, it's great. It was a great like 1 hour like mini movie, if you will. It was really good. So yeah, I'm wearing my Punisher shirt in homage of the character today, and it was actually funny, especially the places I was going. But yeah, like too bad we don't have any Punishers in real life. Nope, never mind. But yeah, I was cracking up last night because I was up late watching Gamer, infamous Sora, play Directive 8020. That game sucks ass. Like, here's the game, in my opinion. Okay, this is my personal opinion. Take it as a grain of salt, because remember, one gamer does not encompass or become a monolith for all gamers. So there are people who probably seen that game, probably watched that game, probably played that game, and probably enjoyed it. I'm not taking nothing from them in their opinion. For me, in my opinion, I can't stand games like that. Like, it really was just a hide and seek simulator. Like, it was, you literally just crouch down and you stay hidden until you can figure out a way to get past somebody. I don't enjoy games like that. Like, that's why I didn't play Splinter Cell, because every time I've seen someone playing Splinter Cell, I would see them hiding or getting in a box that somehow guards who walk that out like that way 17 times would be like, oh, a box, and then just keep going, instead of being like, that's weird, a box, and just start shooting. But regardless, and no shade to that game. My thing was, if it's a component where you can hide, I'm cool with that. But if you can hide and like run and gun and that or options, like that's my better preferred game. Like I'm not going to just be like the only thing I can do is sneak around type thing. Now here's the thing: for some games, I get it. Like you might need a level where you might need to sneak around, something like that. Like I didn't mind it in the first Spider-Man game where you was Miles Morales and you was sneaking around. I didn't mind it when you was Mary Jane in those games. You had to sneak around. Like those was cool. I did love the concept of the second game when you was Mary Jane and you was able to use your stun gun, and then it was a projectile stun gun. Like that's what I mean. Like if you need to sneak around, cool, sneak around. But if you can also get into the mud with it, that's even better. But not a full game of that, and that was the whole game. And the funny thing is, it had jump scares, of course, because it's supposed to be a horror movie in this anthology, of horror genres. Because this is, I believe, the same team that did Until Dawn and The Devil Within, which I haven't watched The Devil Within. I am, because so many people talked about it, I do want to watch somebody play it. I'm trying to see. I asked my gamer friend if she was going to play it. So she, maybe it's possible. So there's no pressure, no rush. If she does, she does. If she doesn't, I can watch it on YouTube. But I have seen Until Dawn, and Until Dawn is a phenomenal game. Like it's so well done. But yeah, I even said it. I said it to her last night while she was streaming. I was like, "This is like a sci-fi movie, like cryptics in space. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't even." And I'm coming at this as like somebody who's a writer and published books. Once again, look them up. Night of Passion series. They're on Amazon, ebook form, under T.J. Jack Love. You got the Will and Kelly, book 1. Book 2 is Janet's story. Book 3 is coming out eventually. But yeah, it was just the whole concept of just being like, the story was just so, it was bland. It was, well, what if there were cryptics in space? I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who wants to play the game, but like, if you've seen the trailer, then you see, it's a sneak around type horror thing. And yeah, the humans are not the highest thing on the food chain, like most things. So, and that was actually a funny thing about it, because I didn't watch her play it the first day. I didn't watch her play episode 1. I came in when she was playing episode 2, and by the time we finished episode 2, which was so funny because she was so bored, she kept stopping just to talk to us. At one point, she was talking about a broom. Like we was talking about. Okay, first off, there was a Roomba in the game for like a split second, but we started talking about the Roomba, and then somehow we got on her talking about brooms. That's how boring the game was. We were captivated and entertained by a conversation about brooms. So if that doesn't tell you because she feels the same way as me, like the same way about gameplay. If you have to sneak around for a stage, cool, but don't make it a whole game. Like make it so you can actually be proactive and have some offensive capability and stuff like that. Like, survive type thing. But it was just so funny. But like, so last night she got to, I want to say, she beat the game. Like she finished the game. I came in while she was on episode 6, I believe, because she finished episode 2. It said to end episode 2, but she kept playing and she got to like episode 4, I believe. So by the time I came in, she was like episode 6. It was like 8 episodes in it, and it started getting better by it, like 6th, 7th episode. But it was bland. It was just bland. Like, I'll use her reference. It was cheeks. It was just cheeks. It was just butt. But yeah, it was funny. It was, but my horror I found that I'm gonna be writing for my stories was so much better. It's so much better than the concept of what they was. I actually figured out what the story was before it was over. Before they even said what it was, I was like, oh, okay. So it's X, Y, Z, blah. Because I came in when I seen her playing it, and I was like, so did they explain it yet? Is it Event Horizon or is it the Thing? Like what two tropes are we dealing with right now between the two? And it was a variation of like it's a variation of both, but like the most. If you play it, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm gonna move on, but it was just funny watching her play because everybody, not everybody, but she was like, I was like, if you're gonna play LK, go for it and play LK. But I'm proud of her because she finished the game. She actually went through the whole game. She was stubborn. It was like, I'm not going to just play it and just not know how this ends. Like which I respect because I'm the same way. But like, it was just funny. But yeah, having I was watching her play that, which stopped me because I was okay after I watched Punisher because we were supposed to play Pathfinder last night, but one of my friends who is a companion who plays the game, he's also a voice actor in anime, and like he's an awesome dude. Like me and him get along really well, and he recommended No Other Choice, the Korean film from the same director of Old Boy and Parasite, I believe. And I seen the trailer for it, but I didn't gravitate to go see it because I got so much stuff on my but I didn't know that the director of Old Boy did that movie because I love Old Boy. Like Old Boy is amazing, and Parasite was really good too. Like Parasite was hella good, but when I looked at the trailer and I seen that the trailer had like those accolades, I was like, no, I'm definitely watching it. So I watched Punisher first, and then I started because they're both on Disney Plus right now. So I went and started watching that, and when I tell you that I love the camera work. I love the camera work. Like I'm not too far into it yet. Like he hasn't done anything. He hasn't crossed the line yet. He was almost about to, and it was actually pretty. It was tense in such a sweet way because I'm thinking about how all that thing happened. Like he was going for his planned first offing, if you will, of his competition, and that person was with their partner in the woods. If you know the scene I'm talking about, where he was just like, yeah, man, paper is what like kept me going and put food in my belly for 25 years. And he was sitting there like, yeah, like you know what I'm talking about. You feel me? Like he was in the background like plotting, but also being like, fuck yeah, dude, yeah. Like, and then he went home to his wife to be like, and they started dancing. That's what he said to his wife. He was reciting the same thing as the his attempted murder victim was like smiling off. Not to mention his attempted murder victim's wife sucking out sucking on the womb on his leg, and then he reads later. He was like, if you get bit, don't put your leg over your heart, and don't cut it, and don't suck out the poison. He was like, oh my god, everything she did was completely wrong. Oh my god, it was so funny. But yeah, I'm probably gonna finish that tonight after I get home, and yeah, like it was funny because I was informing someone today about the Hana virus, because yeah, I was wearing my mask, and sadly, in the place that I went to, I wasn't able to. It was legally obligated for me to take off my mask type thing. So, and it was like, it is what it is. It's fine. I'm not going to be here, for that long. And I wasn't like in people's faces type shit. Like I was, keeping my distance. But he was like, well, it's a virus that comes from rodent. I was like, no, you're absolutely right. I was like, but the mutated variant, the one that get passed from human to human, that's the one that's the problem. And I was like, no, I totally get it. Like, it's about spring cleaning. It's like 40% of people get it during spring cleaning because of that. However, this new mutated strand that is transferring from human to human, that is something different. That was what I'm more concerned about. And he was like, oh. So the fact that he did, here's the thing. The way that the media is trying to spin this, and it's funny because they give you the information, but they give it to you in such a way where they sandwich it in between talking about the regular Hana virus, being like, oh yeah, no, the Hana virus is just something you get from like, feces, urine, or any type of fluids from a rodent. But then they breeze into, but then the mutated strand of the Hana virus is the one that goes from human to human. That's the one that we don't have any vaccines or cures about. However, the one from the rodents and rats, stuff like that, that's just a fever and something like that. So don't worry about that if you get like a fever and stuff like that, because it's probably, and it's like, well, that's still disgusting because I'm a germaphobe. But I get that. But the version that we're talking about now is the one that's being transferred from human to human. We're not talking about the first cases that got transferred from the rodents to the humans. We're not talking about that. Those two people are dead. But those two dead people who had it from the rodent now that are dead, they transferred that mutated virus to other people. Just the same way that it was people that weren't on the cruise line, like one of the flight attendants who's now sick. Other people that actually was in the one of the people that was in it's so sad. The plane ride. Sorry, I'm watching this lady chase after this piece of paper. I don't know if she's gonna be able to get it. Actually, it's not rolling. But yeah, she one of the flight attendants got it. That was on the plane. More people got it. That was, like I said in my last podcast. As of right now, there are two people that are in New Jersey that have it, and like that was just from meeting up with people that had it who got off the cruise before, the news got out in May. So, because now we have the other 16 that are, I think, going to Nebraska, where the CDC is located in their quarantine facility or what like that. But the whole thing is just weird and shady because it's so many things going on. It was like 3 different cruise stories that happened this past like week and a half. Of course, the one with the Hana virus. There was the second cruise line that had like 116 people that had another different virus where they was all sick and they had to be quarantined. Now it's another cruise story about the Disney employees that had a whole ring of like child, like, yeah, just inappropriate scenes with children. And yeah, it's so sad because when I was like younger, when I was like 5-10 years ago, like not far, like I wanted to go on a cruise. Like I wanted to go on the Virgin adult cruise. Like I think it was like virgins, adults only cruise or what like that, no kids and stuff like that. That's the one I want to go to. Just drinks and just debauchery and just enjoy myself, and not having to worry about anybody's kids running around, not worry about my kids running around, like just being on the boat and just chilling and being an adult. And I stopped that dream because now I'm like, I'm on, walking with a cane, and I'm not trying to be walking around on the boat with a cane while the boat's jostling around. Like, now when I get back in proper shape and I can actually walk around without needing the mobility of assistance of a cane, then yeah, maybe I'll rethink about that. But even that, I don't even want, because now with the two viruses and now the whole Disney thing, it's like, man, I'd rather stay on land. but yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, couple weeks. I'm cackling over the fact of the Trump phones that have not come out and will not come out, and all of the people that they rob. Like, if a pig is a pig, a pig is a pig. And this mofo, this shit box, fuck Donald Trump, fuck ICE, fuck this administration, is con artists. They're all criminals, thieves, and con artists. They are, here's the thing about it, which is so funny. They are legitimately what America was started from. The crooks, the robbers, the murderers, the cannibals, the horrendous, like, beings that fled from Europe to come here to the States and stuff like that. That murdered, slaughtered, raped, and cannibalized the indigenous people here, and so many others. Like, they are the epitome of what it is. Like, America is going back to its original stance, and right before it falls, just like Rome. It's hilarious, Time works in mysterious ways, and it's also a construct. But yeah, it's wild. So, con artists being con artists, it is so funny because I've always laughed at the cult members saying stuff about Obama phones and blah 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 blah. Now the fact that they try to, like, feel like they was gonna have a one up on everybody, like, we gonna get a Trump phone. We getting our Trump phone. We spend $100 to pre-order our Trump phone, which I thought some of them was actually thought that they actually bought the phone for $100, but it was just a down payment, and apparently they changed the clause on the website. It was like, oh no, this was just to put your names on the list to say that y'all want one. That doesn't mean that y'all gonna get one. And if it does come out, there still might not be a way for you to get it. Like, when I tell you they flipped the script on this shit so hard, it was like, we just took your money and y'all should be happy about it. Why aren't y'all happy that we took your money and lied to you? It's so funny. Not to mention, Shitbox literally was in the news yesterday. Yesterday, the 12th. It was like, I don't care about the American people's financial problems. All I care about is Iran getting nuclear weapons. They never had nuclear weapons. They never had them. Yo, this is the same thing they used during, like, what was that, Iraqi war or what like that? Like, that's the same shit that they used then. Like, oh, we believe they got weapons of mass destruction. Don't we all have weapons of mass destruction? Yeah, but they shouldn't. Why? Because they're going to be dictators over top of us and tell us what to do. Aren't we being dictators over them and telling them what to do? That's not the same thing. That's totally different. It's like, god. Oh man. But yeah. So between the Epstein files that anyone with more than 3 brain cells actually read and know about it knows that once again Donald Trump shitbox is known to factually be named in the Epstein files more times than Harry Potter, the main character of the Harry Potter stories, are in all of his books combined. And it's so funny too because I was watching something, CNN correspondence, going back and forth, and it was this Republican talking about, I think it was something about Mamdani, which I applaud that, man. Mayor Mamdani, like, well done. Apparently, he took their, what was it, $12 billion deficit in New York, and now there is zero. They have no deficit. It's been 5 months. It's been 5 months. 5 months he's been in office. 5 months he's been in office, and the deficit is now at 0. It's now at 0, which means New York is going to be good for a minute. New York is going to be prospering for a minute. Like, I want to move to New York now. Like, yo, I want to move to New York so bad. I literally posted in the TikTok joke, because it was like, a video. It was like a news video. I was like, can Mayor Mamdani come to Philadelphia? Can we? I mean, I'm not even saying trade. We don't even trade. Just kick her out and just have him take over Philly. It could be in Philly or New York. Like, please. Like, this shit don't make no sense. 5 months, dude. 5 months. 5 months. And he's a socialist. 5 months as a socialist. He got the shit done. And he got like, yo, I'm telling you, because he wasn't on my radar until these blizzards hit. And when I seen that he looked through the laws, it was like, oh, we can hire the citizens of New York to shovel their own, because they gotta shovel their own walkways and stuff anyway. Why not pay them a fair stipend to say, hey, pave yours, pave whatever, and then we'll give you money for it. Like, that's how we used to do it as kids in the old days. Like, kids still do it now, some of them. It's not a lot, but, like, kids still go around knocking door to door and being like, yo, we'll shovel your lane for, like, what was that? Before it was like $5, $10 when I was a kid. Who knows? Maybe it's $15, $20 now. I don't know. But, because at my point, I'm like, it's going to melt. I'm good. You don't gotta shovel. You don't gotta shovel boxes. It'll melt. But, like, I love the tenacity. I love the initiative. But he literally was like, all right, citizens of New York, we'll give you X amount of dollars an hour and X amount of dollars off if you go over the allowed regular normal 9 to 5 like hours and shit like that. And they got it done. New York was clean. I was like, dope. That's how you do it, man. That's how you rep for the people. Not having somebody who can't even spell equals. Yo, that's always going to be her claim to fame. The fact that she couldn't spell equals at a press conference, and she fucked up the deal with the trash sanitation company, and we had our fucking trash locked up for like a month and a half to, I don't even know. At this point, it was just a hot garbage fever dream that I don't want to remember anymore. Jesus Christmas, man. But yeah, he conquered the deficit in 5 months. 5 months. Like, this is the change we need, and this is the shit that I've always been saying. Every time somebody be like, well, we can't do that. Why not? Well, that's not how it's done. Why isn't it done that way then? Well, I mean, because there's certain things you got, like what? Y'all talking out your asses about shit that y'all heard somebody else say that they was bullshitting y'all on in the first place. There's ways to do shit that can help the fucking community, to help the people that's living in the cities that we're living in, and y'all motherfuckers still act like just because y'all see a Democrat or y'all see a Republican and they've been doing this shit since y'all goddamn grandparents was in the fucking like working, that's the only way they can fucking do shit. That's not it. And if it is, then guess what? Be smarter. Think about new ways we can incorporate to change this shit. And the fucking funny thing is, he didn't have to think about new ways to incorporate change and shit. He read the laws. It was like, no, there's already fucking bills in place to actually have this shit happen. He didn't do anything extra or crazy. Like, he literally just was like, nope, this is on the books already, that this is something that we can use. We can find a loophole to have this be this way. And then the things he did change was the things that we've been clamoring for the whole time. Were the more intelligent people, the more educated people, of being like, stop giving tax breaks to the goddamn wealthy. The fuck? Motherfuckers literally living, and y'all fucking know this shit. Y'all, they living check to check. And y'all still like, well, I mean, we just gotta raise more taxes. One of my fucking, I remember, and it was so funny because she got me fired, and then a week later she got fired herself. What about old managers? So funny because it was one of the things I was calling out from work. Be honest and transparent. I was booed up with one of my exes, like me and them just reconnected, and she and I was like just enjoying. Just getting back in the groove of things with each other, and I missed it. I missed being inside of her, and it was great. And I was like, I'm calling fuck out. Like, I don't feel like dealing with these motherfuckers. I'm calling out. I will be laying up in some pussy, and I came work, and it was like, he called out too many times. I was like, I got a fucking life, but. She literally did the same fucking shit. Like, she called out and was out for like 5 days. She was out for like almost a whole whole work week, honestly. A whole work week. Mind you, she tried to put me on schedule for like, 13 days straight on one schedule? And I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. I ain't working for 13 days straight. The fuck? So that was another reason why I was calling out, because I got no other way to fucking have a day off if I don't fucking call out. So, but regardless, she got fired. But the reason why I brought her up was because we, as a whole, as the work crew in dietary, we literally was all like, yo, this is way too much work for the amount of money we get. Like, we want a raise, like something, and we fought for a raise. And why this bitch gonna be like, oh, well, because you got a raise, we want to give you more work. No, the fuck you not. That was the whole point of clamoring for this fucking raise, because we already are overworked. You can't overwork us because we're overworking because we wanted a fucking raise. The fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god. And that's the shit. That was the shit. Like, how they come. It's like, oh yeah, people live from check to check, so we'll just tax them more. The fuck? But why can't we tax the rich? No, that don't make sense. They earned that money that they fucking hoarded in. What happened to trickle down economics? Well, it'll come. You just gotta let them, buy their yachts first, buy their second mansion first, let them travel the world first, and then trickle down economics will start happening for y'all. Just be patient. Fuck that. When Donnie came in, was like, that's what slumlords. Until you fucking fix the water heaters, until you fix some new light bulbs in this bitch, until you fucking fix those creaky ass floors, you ain't getting shit. He was like, what the fuck? Yeah, motherfuckers. I loved it. I mean, he didn't say motherfuckers, or, gross, interpretation of like his character, but he did come in and like wreck shop, and I loved it. I appreciate that, man. Like, well fucking done. Well done. But yeah. Oh man. This shit's crazy. But yeah, this motherfucking Trump literally went and said, I don't think about the Americans' finances. He literally was like, man, fuck y'all. I don't be thinking about y'all. I'm just thinking about my pockets. Like, because clearly, if you're not looking at stocks, if you're not looking at, like, how the Dow is fucking raising and falling and shit, he always want to do shit on a Saturday. He always want to do shit on a Saturday. He always want to do shit when everything's fucking closed, so everything start fucking falling, or they fucking rise. But somehow he does it right at the time when it's like, oh, people can buy stuff on a Friday right before the market closes, or people can like start hedging their bets to start buying stuff on Monday when everything start going further down or like that on cost. It's hilarious. Not to mention all of the different like money laundering and embezzling and stuff like that. I gotta say allegedly that his family is doing. Here's my thing. I've always was like, it's crazy as shit that when he was in his first term, his daughter took over as CEO of his company and then basically was doing deals overseas with foreign diplomats and stuff. Like, I was like, that doesn't seem suspicious to y'all? Nobody else? So, no? Okay. Just me, baby. And then apparently it was suspicious when, like, Hunter Biden started doing it. And it was like, nah, he can't do that. It was like, wait, which guy was just doing that in Trump's fucking president, his first term? She was going around, all around. She was globetrotting, talking to all these different diplomats, being like, yeah, we're going to start doing Trump Towers here, right? Right? We could break ground in 2025. Like, anyway, just follow the money. Always follow the money. Do your own research. That's what I say. But yeah, it was this, like, I was saying this for like since I was a youth, that like Earth has to be one of the highest rated reality TV shows in the cosmos, because you can't make this shit up. Like, this shit is fucking hilarious. Well, clearly you can, but like, this shit is hilarious, dude. Like, everything the Republican Party literally be saying is the same exact shit they be doing. They literally are like, no, we gotta go over there to free the people, because the people in Iran, they're underneath a dictator of these odd religious doctrines where the people, if they don't believe in the same thing that their overlords believe in, they get dragged out of their homes and shot in the street, and they be terrorized by their government. We can't have that happen to these people. We gotta save these people. And they'd be like, wait, are we still talking about Iran, or are we talking about America? Because that's what ICE is doing. Is dragging people out of the streets, out in the cars, out of their houses, shooting them, murdering them in cold blood. And then automatically, when some type of fucking dust get kicked up because of that, what happens? Oh, we'll just move that person who shot and murdered an innocent civilian and have them moved out that city and go to a different city where they can do the same exact fucking thing. Like, I can't wait for all this shit to be over. This, like, for them to indict Shitbox, for them to indict the whole cabinet, for this whole regime to be. Because here's the thing, like, I'm not sure if y'all are abreast of this or not, or if y'all are keeping tabs or taking notes of this. Like, their whole plan is to get all the red states to be completely red states, so they can have a 2 to 3 majority, so that they can change the constitution, so that they can pit Trump in the presidency for a third term. Hence why they keep trying to say Trump 2028. Like, they're trying to do that now. These are the steps for them to actually bring this about. so that they can do that. Because again, a sitting president cannot exceed 2 terms of presidency. That's in the Constitution. This is not a monarchy where we have a king who just going to stay in office until they die. Or, well, yeah, king, because this is a racist ass America where they are sexist as fuck and they don't want to have a fucking, like, they'll probably take Melania out if Trump ever died, if they ever did do this shit and have him become this mock king of America bullshit. But yeah, man, this shit is crazy. Like, that's the move. You know what's even funnier? Cause, all right, so I know I probably lost a lot of people when I was saying, hey, hear me out. We should put, these parasites in like a zoo and put AI, like, virtual reality, like, visors on them and have them be like a sheltered, fucking hermetically sealed dome bunker thing, like in The Simpsons, and just have them be over there so everybody else can be safe. Everybody else can be safe if we don't have these parasites around us. And it was so funny because I found out that apparently there are high-ranking officials in the Republican Party who literally had similar ideas as me, except for mine was more humane. I'm not saying killing people, and I'm also not saying exactly what they were also saying outside of killing people, which were make people into batteries. They're trying to do a pseudo blend of The Matrix and the last series of The Walking Dead. Was it like New York State of Mind or whatever the one with Negan was in New York with Glenn's wife, and they was just in New York. I don't know. It was Walking Dead in New York. I don't know, but like I know they was harvesting the biomass and biomatter of the zombies or the walkers to generate energy. That's what the Republicans literally was saying to do. Like, that's one of their game plans that they have into, going into fruition if they actually gain full power. If you don't believe me, go look it up yourself. Do your own research, like I always say. At least mine's were humane. I'm not saying, like I was saying, put them in the fucking zoo, put them in the observatory so we can see what they're doing. And be like, yeah, you see what they're doing in their VR simulator? They're fucking being savages, like they are accustomed to being. They're just parasites, uneducated, moronic parasites. Like, fucking ridiculous, dude. But regardless, I'm going on a tangent. Let me not digress. The fact of the matter is, there was a Republican on a CNN thing talking to another correspondent that is more progressive, and I believe they're independent, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but basically, when the independent correspondent was talking about Madani and was talking about the things that have positively been going on, this dumbass Republican, this uneducated Republican, woman. Going to go, and it's not just her as a woman. There was multiple uneducated male idiots that was saying the same idiotic thing. But it basically was like, Mandani knows this one guy, and it was like, y'all act like they were friends. No, he knows them, sure, but it's not like they hang around the same circles. He just know them. It's not like how Trump is, where he was in multiple photographs and on the island with Epstein, but y'all still trying to act like, no, that's not, we need more evidence. But y'all want to say because Mandani know this one dude, oh, that's it, clear cut. He's just like that dude. Because it's this whole weird monotony of acting as if just because one person on a because once again, it's always do as I say, not as I do type shit with these motherfuckers. It's always the thing of, oh no, we're gonna scrutinize if y'all got a parking ticket. You got a parking ticket and you're a Democrat. We're gonna scrutinize you. We're gonna drudge up everything and yada yada yada. It's 2:34. We're gonna drudge up everything. But then when it came out, like, he's been convicted of these fucking acts. He has numerous shitbox. I'm talking about shitbox here in the Oval Office. Shitbox has numerous fucking cases of sexual improprieties. Like the ones we know of, the ones that he said himself, and the court cases that came out later on about the fucked up bullshit he did by molesting children and underage victims. We have constant evidence of this shit. And these jagoffs in this fucking cult is being like, that, no, like, well, why isn't he in jail then? Why isn't he in jail then? I mean, blah, 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 blah. Like, the same reason why he picked the damn clause of saying a sitting president is going to always have immunity. I'm always going to have diplomatic immunity. God, I love that line from Lethal Weapon 2. Diplomatic immunity. It's been revoked. Wait, sorry. Like, this is what, like, he picked the clause in. That's why he's trying to stay president until he dies. Like, because as soon as he come out of office, the handcuffs is going on. As soon as he get impeached and get out of office, the handcuffs are going on. Like, what the fuck? And everybody going down with him. And I can't wait. Hopefully sooner than later. Like, Jesus Christmas, man. It's ridiculous. And it's so sad because as much as it is annoying that the content creator on Instagram, the professional doctor, who basically was predicting that, you know, shitbox was going to aspirate on a cheeseburger and, you know, that's how he's going to go out. Or maybe, or also another possibility is being impeached or like that. I don't want him to aspirate. I want him to serve his time. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and here's the thing. Not serve his time being in a fucking summer resort type shit. The same type of resort shit that they gave to, what's her name? The woman who was Epstein's right-hand person. Because, again, everyone, it wasn't just all men doing these acts to these children. There were also women there. So let's be clear with these statements here. And that woman was not a trans woman that was originally a man. No, she was born biologically a woman, and she was doing these horrendous things as well to these children, these boys and these girls. Let's be clear here. We're going to be honest. We're going to be honest about it. But no, they moved her after they tried to get her to talk, and then she said, "No, I'm not talking unless I talk to Trump's lawyer." And that's when they was like, "Oh, let's move her out of this solitary confinement jail and put her in like the Four Seasons." Yeah, like she needs full access internet. She need a laptop. She need, like, you know, all the streaming that she could get. Netflix, Apple, you know, Apple TV, Amazon. Give her Hulu and Disney Plus. Give her all that. Do she like Sports Center? Give her Sports Center. Give her the full package. Just order America's Dime. Don't worry about it. Like, they gave her a luxury suite. Like, she know where the bodies are. Excuse me, got a little tickle. She know where the bodies are. So of course they keeping her comfy, keeping her in a lap of luxury. She don't gotta do nothing until, well, Trump get her, you know, impeached and arrested, and then everybody can throw the fucking book at her. But yeah, this this gotta be like the wildest like reality TV show in space. Like Earth, season 745. What's gonna happen this season finale? Like shit is crazy. But yeah, and it comes down to it. It's all entertainment to me now. Like, because I know all the stuff I'm going through personally in my life, and I'm comfortable where I'm at with it. Like, because I know my goals are going to be accomplished, which I am fucking ecstatic about, because all I care about is making sure my daughter is okay, and making sure I'm okay enough to be able to protect my daughter and make sure she's okay. So I know that is coming along swimmingly, and I am also making new friends along the way as that is happening. But yeah, like, it's wild. It is wild. I know that it's going to become more inconvenient. It's, you know how wild it is, because here's the thing about it. I talk about this stuff in my normal everyday life. You know, when I talk to other people, like when I send my audio recordings to some of my other friends and my other companions and stuff like that that I'm close to, like I bring up these things, like I give them updates because I know in their lives they don't have the time to be able to talk about as much stuff as they possibly can, yada yada yada, or view things as much as they can when it comes down to, you know, their day to day of watching news media, regardless of whatever network it's on, or if they get it from, you know, sites of, you know, TikTok or BBC America, yada yada. Sometimes they can't keep up with it, so I help them and give them tidbits of stuff that I'm abreast on. So I talk about this all the time, but some places I choose not to talk about because I'm like, some places I just kind of want to like shut my mind off and just enjoy what's going on, and you know, outside of the chaos that is the entertainment of this reality. So I'll like, henceforth I'll watch my gamer friend play video games, and I won't bring up world events or world topics or like that. Ironically enough, it's becoming a factor so much more that even the people who try not to be abreast of current events are talking about it. Like, we were talking about it 2 days ago on my friend, like on a gamer stream, about like gas prices and how sadly she had to pay like $50 to fill up her tank. And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, my quarter of a tank, I was quarter from full, because I've said it numerous times on this podcast that I'm no longer allowing my gas to go underneath a quarter of a tank. Like, it's never going to happen until we run out of gas, basically. But like, the last time I filled up my tank from a quarter to full, it was like 29. It was almost $30. It was like 29.48 or something like that. And that was just for a quarter of a tank. And that was at the gas prices being for regular being $4.49. So, and it's still at $4.49 at the gas station I go to. But I get what, 90, I get 89. I don't get 87, I get 89. But even still, I'm like, it's going to impact so much and so many people, and the fact that people are starting to feel it now is just an indicator of how dire the situation is becoming. Because you know how it is, but like, most people can understand that prices go up because of inflation and stuff like that, which is still capitalistic bullshit. But it's still a thing where people be like, well, it's only a couple cents here and there. Like, I don't really mind. That's what some of those people might say. But now those same people that like, I don't mind, it's, you know, it is what it is, the way of the world, they're starting to feel it. And it's not going to get better. It's going to get a whole lot worse. And it's sad and it's fucked up because, like, we had an opportunity for it to be better. Now, here's the thing about it. I will say this as a glass half full type of, you know, situation. If not for the situation getting this bad, we wouldn't try to be now in a position trying to figure out how to make it better for a long-term good, instead of it being a band-aid fix after, fingers crossed, Trump gets out of office, his regime gets out of office. It won't be just a band-aid fix. It won't go back to normal business as usual of, yeah, Republicans fuck up the economy and then Democrats come in and kind of like make it a little survivable, but still keep it where it's at, where it's like, well, y'all survived this long, where if we take a little bit of the boot pressure off your neck, you know what I mean, y'all want to thank us, right? No, I want some like Mayor Mondani shit all across the board for all the fucking states of America. Like, destroy this deficit, bring this shit down to like zero, give the working class the freedom and leeway of being able to like enjoy themselves again, being able to like hold a pension, save their 401k, be able to like build some type of generational wealth for their like themselves and their children, and not just have generational wealth go to the mega wealthy and being like, it sucks that y'all don't fucking have the same insider trading and the same nepotism that we had when we was growing up. Like, that's like the only way you can fucking have some type of like wealth, unless you are using AI as the like information tool that it was like built by. And once again, I want to say it like this: it's so much noise clamoring about AI when AI is just like anything else. It's a device. Now, here's my thing. I'm not saying use your AI to go and type in a prompt saying make an illustration that looks somewhat like Jim Lee's drawings from the X-Men, or make an illustration that looks something like Todd McFarlane's Spawn comic books and like that. That's fucked up. Now, I will say, if you don't know how to draw, yeah, like, and you want to know how the feeling of like creating something that you had in your own mind, use your AI prompt to be like, hey, I want you to like draw this description for me, and I want to see how it turned out. Go for it. I don't think that's the fucking problem. Just the same way I don't think it's a problem when people be like, hey, help me create a calendar for my week, and this is all the stuff I gotta do in my day-to-day from like Monday through Saturday, and make a schedule for me so I can have the most efficient, you know, time frame so I can get everything done and still have time for myself. Yeah, go for it. Do that. Even if it comes down to stock markets, you don't know anything about stocks, hey, have a fucking AI go in there and be like, help me figure out stocks for somebody that's a beginner that would be beneficial for me, yada yada yada. Because here's the thing, it's a tool. Just like magic is with fucking in Harry Potter, just like, you know, mutant abilities are in the fucking MCU and stuff like that. Like, if you don't have the same level ground equality that everybody keep wanting to scream about, of saying, I don't know how to do this shit. I don't know how to do this shit. And the people that do know how to do this shit is fucking gatekeeping that shit, then yeah. Use an AI tool to fucking get it. Now, here's one thing. I will say this. To each their own, however you want to use AI. I do feel like only people that will misuse AI are those that aren't smart enough to learn or too lazy to learn. However, if there is a assistant to you being able to help streamline your work, if you're doing the work yourself, let's just be clear. I'm gonna say it like this: if you're doing your work yourself, but you're trying to have your AI assistant trim some fat to make it a little bit more uniform, yada yada yada, I don't got a problem with it. But if you're just using your AI to fucking answer all the questions and you're not doing shit, that's the problem. That's not going to help you, become smarter or more evolved when it comes down to it. However, you got to understand, when it comes to AI, there's billionaire companies that are using AI. They're making trillions now because of AI. And it's not because of the fact that they're stupid or yada yada. They just also know that time is money. So when it comes down to time being money, you're going to make sure your AI assistant is going to eat up all of that time that you're going to be spending, like, trying to figure shit out when they can use their fucking, calculations to figure it out 12 times faster than you would. So there's layers to this shit, but to have a thing where everybody's like, AI's gonna make everybody dumb, blah, 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 blah. But we had a character named Cyborg for fucking decades, and nobody's talking about Cyborg as a dummy. Cyborg is an intelligent dude. And he has an AI component in his brain that helps him open doors and wormholes to other places, but he also will help him hack into all these different devices. There's layers to it. There's definitely layers to it. But to try to have this full-on, one-sided argument of saying AI is wrong, AI is bad, this and that is ridiculous. However, when it comes down to the environment, I will state this. If there is a thing where AI, which we know, there's not a if there's a thing, we know there is a thing where the companies that are using AI are contaminating a lot of fucking water. If we know that there are genetically modified weather machines, I don't understand why we can't use those generated weather machines to conduct inside a fucking warehouse or silo or where the fuck else they want to put these AI generated devices in, yada yada yada, and then just have these fucking generated modified storm clouds constantly raining water in a refrigerated fucking temperature on these fucking devices, or in the reservoir where these devices are housed at, yada yada yada. There's ways to do this without it generating or depleting the natural resources of water that we are losing out on because of the fact of all the chemicals that are being shot up in the fucking air through every single city, I was going to say metropolis, every single city that is in the known region of America. Because once again, America pulled out of, they didn't pull out, they did, it's along those lines, they did not sign or agree with the world petition to lessen refinery pollution and stuff like that into the atmosphere. Other countries signed up for it, and they was like, cool, we'll agree to these terms, yada yada. America pulled out. It was like, no, we're not doing that. The same way they pulled out of WHO, World Health Organization. So when all this shit start going down with any and all of these different multiple viruses that are out, when the world starts to get more data about what's going on and how to create antibodies or vaccines for it, fingers crossed, a cure, um, they're not obligated to share that information with America. Like, they might, they might do it as a goodwill gesture, but they don't have to now because Shitbox pulled this out of who? And yeah, yeah. Not to mention all the scientists and people that were fired that were in that field of viruses and vaccines and trying to establish cures for these different things. So there's that. But every time I think about it, I'm like, this shit is. So I've been looking at different places to. I've been looking at different countries that allow you to stay there, without a visa for like a year, and then you can like become a citizen after a year. I've been looking at a lot of different places. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still some more planning and stuff like I have to do, and still have to make sure I'm in like the best physical shape so I can actually be capable of viable work when I go to these places, or me and my daughter go to these places. But yeah, I'm just doing some research. I'm cross-referencing those places with other places that agreed that slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, was one of the most horrendous things in human history that has not been fucking like given in any type of credence of like understanding, hey, we should do something about this, or at least, at the very fucking least, say I'm sorry. Like, at the very least, apology. Like, damn, guys in America and in Africa that experience this fucking horrible, horrific stance in history and also public, display of yada yada yada. Like, at the very least, just my bad. Like, it happened, my bad. You know what I mean? They can't even say my bad. Of course, we want more than that. But at the same time, we like, my bad? Yo, here's my thing. Like, at this point, like I said before, I'll say it again. It's getting, every day is getting closer and closer to a civil war. Like, at this point. Because with them rolling back the 15th Amendment, them trying to, like, pin out the fucking, like, the most uneducated ones already, giving clues talking about they're trying to push back the 14th. Like, I'm just happy I'm in Pennsylvania as much as I want to be in New York. Honestly, you already know I want to be in Canada. But if you've been listening, if you haven't, you're new here, yeah, I'm just like my favorite comic book character, Wolverine. I want to go to Canada. I want to sign up and become a Canadian. But yeah, or at least figure out a way where I can live in Canada for like 6 months, and then just globe trot around the world for the other 6 months, and just live over in different places and not have to come back to America. So, yeah. But yeah, until that beautiful, glorious, jet-setting days happen for me, and of course my mini-me, like, I'm just here just waiting for more of this shit show to continue shitting. But yeah. I think that's. I think I'm good. I think I'm good talking about that now because I honestly I took a like after I did my last podcast I kind of was taking a break with from like looking at shitboxing the fiasco that he's creating, and because that's all it is. He's creating this shit. Like he's creating problems because of his problems. When I tell you these parasites don't know how to fucking be accountable for their shit, they make their shit everybody else's problems. It's so goddamn nerve-wracking. Like, it's like, come on. Like, if your little dick energy, little mushroom dick energy, was bold enough to sexually assault these children because you was a pussy and you couldn't, wasn't strong enough to try to sexually assault a man, an actual full-grown man that's on your level, you rather just suck these grown-ass men's dick. But, so big and bad to fucking attack these children. Now when the shit come out that we know that you attacked these children, like not just the fact that the courts already had documents, the FBI already had documents of the stories of these fucking horrific crimes against these children and what happened to them, not to mention knowing the fact of your comeuppings of having a fucking pole stuff kicked in your ass and shit, which hemorrhaged your goddamn intestines and your bladder and shit, hence why you gotta wear a goddamn diaper and shit yourself all goddamn day, shit box. Like, we already know this shit. This shit is already out there. Like, and now it's gonna be, and now you making it all our problem and shit because of the fact that you don't want to just be honest that you're a piece of shit and you did this horrible, shitty things to these children. Or he's literally ruining America. And you got these parasites, these cult members sitting there. Literally, I was listening to a live, and you know me, I love listening to the white on white arguments of these white people coming at their own people, these parasites, and being like, y'all are pieces of shit, but we want y'all to talk to understand more how idiotic and uneducated you are. So continue talking. And it was this dude. Now, granted, on this live, it was actually a young black male who was talking to a parasite, a cultist, and the cultist was basically like, yeah, no, I work on a oil refinery, one of those oil refineries at sea type thing, working in these. It's like, yeah, no, like, we're doing good. Like, me and my team, we're doing, like, we just got a better healthcare sign up. Like, we getting better stuff for our healthcare. We getting more money. And the dude, the black guy was like, so yeah, but you do realize that the last tanker of oil that came from the Strait of Hormuz, it, came like 3 days ago, and after that, no more oil is coming, which means all that labor, all that stuff is going to be going through y'all company, which means what's going to happen when, what's going to happen when y'all are working 8, 9, 14 days straight, and y'all basically collapse because of the fact that y'all can't work no more. What you gonna do then? He's like, well, and then he literally answered the question, well, keep on working, keep on making money. Bitch, you can't. Your body is gonna be exhausted. You're not a fucking robot. You can't just keep going. You wanna need a fucking break. You wanna need some fucking time off. Like, no, we gonna just you gonna just keep making money. Like our company gonna get raises from it because we're the only business in town. It's like you don't. But so, and he was like, so you're okay with black man was like, you're okay with the American people suffering because you and your family gonna be making money. And the parasite was like, yeah, I am. And I was like, the thing about this comes down to it. Yeah, let these parasites talk because hopefully, the world will start seeing the same thing that I've known for decades. These things are not human. They aren't human. They don't deserve the respect that one human being gives to another human being because they aren't human. Humans have empathy. They have empathy. And they understand that if something happens to the nation, it happens to all of us. But these parasites have no track on understanding that. They only see what is for them. That's why I call them black holes. Because a singularity that sucks in light, matter, energy, everything into itself, and it never gets sated. It only exists just to absorb and to crush. That's what these parasites are. That's what these fucking black holes are. On every different level. These energy vampires, these fucked up politicians, these fucked up CEO and businessmen, like these fucked up individuals, they stem from the same core of just a narcissist that just feels like everything is about them and nothing else matters except for their fulfillment. And they're not human. Humans don't do that to other humans. Savages do. Demons do. Parasites do. Like, and that's the crazy thing about it. It's like, we know what parasites are, like, in a legitimate fashion. We also know what a symbiotic relationship can be. Like those fishes that live in the whale's mouth to eat, like, the particles and stuff that the whale is too small for the whale to get out their teeth. And these fish go into the teeth and, like, eat the shit out the teeth. And that's what sustains those fish while also helping the whale. While also the whale is protecting the fish because nothing is going to attack the fish because it would have to attack the whale. If it comes to attack the fish, the whale is going to eat it, and those little things, that body pieces that's left that the whale didn't chomp on, the fish is going to also enjoy. Symbiotic relationship. Parasites, they will fucking eat and eat and eat until they waste you away or waste away the goddamn vessel they're in, and then that vessel dies, and then guess what? Either the parasite is going to try to find a new vessel to fucking do the same thing on, or the parasite is going to go and die because the host is no longer viable. Hence why these black holes, uneducated to the point of saying, oh, this is only about me. I don't care about the world around me. Fuck this. Disgusting. Just flat out disgusting. Right? Things had to be revealed so things can change. And for the longest time, regardless of the lies and falsehood that those parasites and black holes was trying to spit out, now everyone can see the true blue real reality of it all. And the reality of it all is the only way for civilized people to live a better life and live a life that's okay is to no longer have those that say they're in power be in power anymore. That's just what it is. That's just, it's no longer should we live in a fascist state that acts as if it's not a fascist state, but does everything from a fascist playbook and expect us to just sit here and be okay with it until we just die out because we can't go to work because we don't have gas, or we can't eat because we can't go to work because we don't have gas, or we can't power our homes because we don't have the money because we can't go to work because we don't have gas. Not to mention, we're going to need gas to bring in the food so we can eat. Unless you're farming your own stuff. Thank goodness I bought my damn vegetable seeds and shit last week. But, like, other places need gasoline. Like, refineries, tankers, buildings. Like, everything, like, gas and oil is a part of America's society. Like, oil changes, for Christmas sake. We need oil for oil change. Thank goodness I got my oil change recently. But yeah, like, we're at a breaking point, and sadly, but also kind of good, like, it has to happen because this has to show people what the world really is. And I've been saying it for a while, I've been saying it for years, over a decade probably. America is no longer a first world country. Like, it stopped being a first world country for a long time. But now it's really going to become like the Badlands. It's really going to be... It's going to be like... which is funny. Escape from L.A. Because I'm not going to use Escape from New York one. It's going to be like Escape from L.A. It's going to be like RoboCop. It's going to be like all those dystopian fucking movies and shows and stuff like that. It's going to get worse. It's going to get bad. It's going to be bad. And it's just... It's sad that it had to come to this. It is. It's sad that it had to come to this. It was so many different opportunities where we all could have worked for a better society for everyone to be okay. Like, but too many people are too fucking wrapped up in us versus them mentalities and not trying to come together as a phalanx to evolve to the greatest state that we could be. Because I'm tired of hearing so many people talk about like Norway and like hell, even It's Not Real have like full health care. Like they have full paid for health care. I mean, of course they're paid for by the American dollar. Did y'all hear that clone of Netanyahu talk about America sends, they say $3 billion a year. So he said like $3 billion a year goes to It's Not Real. Oh my God. Look it up yourself. Do your research. Of course. I could be wrong. It could be 3 million, could be 3 trillion. I believe it was 3 billion. Like, do your own research. But the fact of the matter is, they have fully installed healthcare, literally from American dollars, while us in America are fucking struggling with like $180 fucking copay. Some of us even more, some of us a little bit less. Like, literally going to go see a goddamn doctor to say, hey, I have a clicking sound going on in my elbow, and having to pay a fucking $80 or $120-something fucking charge just to be like, y'all, you said y'all didn't even run a test. He just said, "Oh yeah, that's a click. I hear that. Try not to click it as much." And now it's a fucking bill for $80 to $120. Fucking if it's a fucking lab fucking thing, it's an extra $80 to a fucking $130 for that. They got free universal health care, dude. It's not real got free universal health care. Shit is crazy. Shit is wild. And he's I look for the day that we don't have to rely on America's money. No shit, Sherlock, because you know, dumbass shitbox fucked up American economy. Because this whole thing is fucking botched now. Point blank, period. Fucking BRIC was already fucking in the midst of being fucking signed. Once again, fucking Britain, Russia, India, Africa, and Canada. They was all fucking signing up for that fucking thing to make a world currency where they all fucking just come together for world currency. So America was like, no, we're not gonna be a part of that. Fair, get it, fair, get it. That's y'all, you know. I get it. Whatever. But here's the thing: the Strait of Hormuz thing now, which is now fucked. And all they asked for this, the last thing they asked for, this was, 2 days ago. Last thing they asked for from Iran, or Iran fucking peace deal that they asked for, which could have been more, but I know for the main factor of 3 things that was asked for. They literally was like, stop the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. Stop that blockade. I can't say it because it's so frustrating. Because it makes sense. I agree with it full-heartedly. Stop the blockade. Reimburse and pay for all the damages y'all fucking caused by blowing up our shit. And then basically be like, this is a sovereign nation and we do what we do here. That's it. That's all they asked for. Same shit. Americans always clamor about being like, this is America, this is what we do, America. Same shit Americans would have asked for if some other fucking country came out of nowhere and started bombing us out of no fucking place. They'd be like, bitch, first of all, tell everybody that y'all fucking punch ass bitches and America whipped y'all ass. Talk about how great we are. Give us money for the shit y'all destroyed. And then, and get the fuck out there. Get out of here. That's it. That's all they fucking said. And this shit box like, no, this is the dumbest, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, regardless of the dumbass shit box and his shit box dumbass self, now, Iran is fucking talking to China, and now they talk about changing the goddamn currency that they receive for the oil from U.S. currency to fucking yen. So now everybody gonna fucking have to be like, well, if U.S. currency is no longer viable to buy this oil from Iran, which everybody gets oil from Iran, they like, all right, cool, we'll just start buying yen then, which means the currency, the economy for the American dollar, which is a fucking house of cards. It's a house of cards. The outside, the higher outer fucking realm of all these other countries fucking basically pitting their wealth into our banks so that they can fucking get exchange of our fucking currency so they can buy shit outside of America, because America had the monopoly over all the shit on the outside. It was the mafia fucking move of, listen, we know that those guys over there might try to fuck with you, but if you let us into your country, we'll protect you. But you gotta make sure you gotta give us a kickback. Those people won't bother you because we here. So make sure you give us a kickback. Make sure it's not light. Make sure that envelope is not light, or we gonna have a problem. You don't want to have a problem with us, right? We just trying to help you. just trying to help you. Because, you know, I mean, everybody could use a little help, right? Right? That's what America was. That's all America ever been. So now, since no one's going to give a fuck about America, because remember, America always had the bigger stick. America always had the biggest stick. We had the nuclear bombs, we had a whole fucking arsenal, we had the drones, we had all this shit. Now all of a sudden we looking and we like, yo, this little country, they fucking America. Not just America, they fucking America, and it's not real. They fucking them both up. So why the fuck should we be worried about them if this little motherfucker is fucking these? That's like, here's the thing. That's like if I will go back to comic books real fast. That's like if motherfuckers didn't know who Puck was from Alpha Flight, right? Like Iran is Puck, right? From Alpha Flight. If Puck was going up against, let's say, U.S. Agent. U.S. Agent is clearly representative of America, and who you know the character that they took out from the Captain America movie, the Israel soldier, or like that, will be Israel clearly. If Puck came in and they was like, oh, we there's Puck, we need to question him, but we need to whip his ass first before we question him, and then Puck come out of nowhere and whip both of their asses. No one's going to look at U.S. Agent and Israel character and shit and be like, yeah, they're a threat. They're a threat. Yeah, like, no. Puck from Alpha Flight whipped your asses on a 1-2 fucking combo shit. Like, it was two of y'all against him, and he whipped y'all asses. Y'all a joke now. Y'all a joke now. It's fucking hilarious. And that's what's really going on right now in the fucking world sphere and shit like that. Everybody looking at America like, first of all, it was dumb as shit to fucking bomb Iran. It was dumb as shit. Second of all, y'all get y'all ass whooped. Y'all get y'all ass whooped so bad that y'all had to fucking call for a ceasefire. You had to call for a ceasefire. Y'all had to be like, yo, let's put a pause on this. While you're still bombing them. They're literally upholding the fucking front of being like Iran is literally upholding their front and being like, yo, all right, we're not going to bomb shit. We're going to retaliate, but we're not going to start this shit. We're not going to escalate it, but we will retaliate. And what happens? U.S. agent is still up there bombing shit, and this shit box up there like, yeah, we just do a little kiss of a bomb, little tick over a bomb. Like, oh my god, you mother. Like, come on, dude. This shit is ridiculous. But regardless, that's my 2 cents. It is what it is. Man, I was trying not to go back to it. I was trying not to go back to shitbox, but it's in every, like, do your own research. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. Feel free to be like, hey, this is the website I went on. This is the cited documents that I found about this stuff that, you know, proves what you were saying wasn't accurate. Like, I love to be informed. I love to learn. That's my black hole right there. My black hole is I have an insatiable hunger to learn as much as possible. That's how I use my black hole syndrome, because I feel like everyone has it. Everyone has a black hole that is within them that they are accustomed to, because once again, we're all connected. From being the highest light being that we could possibly be to the darkest singularity that we could possibly be, it's all encompassed in who we are. We're all made of stardust. We're all made of carbon, which, if you know me, if you know what I said, if you heard my podcast before, carbon, the numeric number of carbon is 666. So take with that what you will. But yeah, like we're all connected, and we all have good, we all have bad, we all have variations of the two. We all make up the whole as that, and we just have to learn how to balance and to have self-control over ourselves and those markers that are us. So when it comes down to that, like, yeah, we can make choices to pit us where we decide that we want to be. So for me, acknowledging my black hole essence of who I am, that essence is just knowledge. Love learning. I have an insatiable craving to just constantly learn and constantly experience and constantly just see things and grow and evolve from the new things I'm learning and new things I'm experiencing. So you can take the negative and make it into something positive, just like you take something positive and make it into a negative. It's all yin and yang, baby. But with that being said, I am going to call this one and get to do what I usually do, which is enjoy the rest of my life. I hope that you all are enjoying yours. I hope to see you back next week. And thank you for traversing this verse with me and with yourselves. Have a good one. This has been a Troyiverse production.